we've got ourselves some more SBCs. Now the question is, who should you be completing by now? We've had a lot of big SBCs coming out recently. So we're going into the final Serie A in, well, Friday, and then also into the Ultimate. So I can imagine we're still going to see quite a few top end. Whether we see the absolute top pinnacle or not, we will see. But who have we got right now? So when it comes to the icons, there's quite a few that I'm like, they are worth it to some extent, and it will massively depend on your team entirely, to be honest. If you've already got the best team of the seasons, most of them are not really going to touch the sides. We did get a brand new Stoichkov that I am absolutely a massive fan of. I think he's a very, very good card, but the pricing is still very expensive for an SBC, and if you are looking at quite a lot of these, so you think of Stoichkov at 2.2, if you're trying to finish most of them, you've got 2.2, say to 3 mil, 6 mil, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14... Like, you are looking between around about 17 to 18 million for every icon that is currently available in SBCs. Now, not everybody is worth it. In my eyes, I don't think Ribery is worth it anymore. I just don't think he's there. When we look at someone like an R9, we look at a Ronaldinho, even a Cantona to some extent, you could argue between them a little bit. So when it comes to R9, which I don't know where he is. Are you looking for coins to improve your team? Then you need to head over to LootBar.gg, the most reliable and the best coin service you can find. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on LootBar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours, absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below. Well, it would help if I even added him, but like we look at, for instance, a lot of the base versions. We've obviously got Mia Hamm still, we've got R9, and we've got Ronaldinho. They are all very kind of respected icons in their own right, and also very top-end icons in their own right. Now, every single one of them has got a better version. Obviously, Mia Hamm and R9 were the team of the year. Ronaldinho's got the Centurions and also the Future Stars. So I could understand with R9 and Hamm not maybe getting a team of the year, but with Ronaldinho, the Centurions would have been a better shout. Now, with Mia Hamm, I personally think she's cheap enough to be able to do if you wanted. I do think she's at least decent value within herself. Ronaldinho, at the point of when he was out, he's now 1.5 mil. I just got a feeling he should have been a little bit cheaper. I think he's kind of in that half. I think you could argue that he's still good value for what you get. He isn't a bad player. The problem is now, especially with the team of the season, he's not the greatest option you can go for. Personally, for me, if I'm going in great value, it's personally for the nostalgic tax on him. I do think R9 is still a must complete, and there's a lot of people not fancying R9. I still think R9 is incredible. Genuinely, even with just the quick step, I know he is insanely expensive, but genuinely how good as a striker he really is, I can't miss him up. He's expensive, don't get me wrong. And I don't think you could even argue for him to be cheaper because it's R9. If you've ever played with R9, you know full well how good he truly is. Everybody will want R9. Now, would I say if you've already got an Mbappe, a Eusebio, a Cruyff at a 95, 96, or even someone like a Haaland team of the season, fair enough. You probably don't need him. But if you're not got him, I think R9's definitely up there in my eyes. And that, again, is just kind of what you want to take from it. Some people really like him, some people don't. When we look at someone like Raul, if I can find him wherever he's gone, he's coming in at 600. I personally don't think that's a bad choice, to be honest. He's definitely not a must complete in my eyes, but it's not the worst value in the world. Same with Matthias. I think you could argue for a must complete with him personally. He, again, is quite expensive, coming in at 1.55. But if you've not got a centre mid, he's up there. He's a cracking player. He's got his stats all above 90, which is what everybody wants, bar from the dribbling, which they really kind of killed off. And to be fair, I think the physicality as well. In fact, has he even got everything above 90? Or am I thinking of a different card? 84, 85. Or is it, do you add a chemistry star to him? Engine. No, because that won't get physicality. Oh. I don't know why I always thought he had 90 on everything. It might have been a team of the season, to be fair. But regardless, in-game, still absolutely crazy. He absolutely goes off. When we look at someone like a Czech, very easy to say is a great value card. It's not a bad one in there. I think when we look at Hadji, he's again going to be up there in terms of how cheap he truly is. And then even if we go to like a Zambrotta, anybody below a mil is to some extent decent value when it comes to icon. Granted, I don't think Hadji is an absolute world beater. I think a lot of people do really like him, and I personally just don't have a room in the team for him. I kind of play a lot of box to box. I don't really have a cam in there, and if he can't play wing or striker, it doesn't work my setup. Maybe as a super sub I could offer something. Essian's obviously up there. Then we kind of have a few of the more expensive players. I do think Rio should have been cheaper in my eyes, especially with what sort of centre backs we've got coming in at a whopping to 1.72. I just think he should be more towards the mil mark now, especially with the likes of Hanko, Kayonde, obviously Konate at the same time, and I think he came out just after live, I want to say. I'm pretty sure he was during the team of the season. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was there. Then obviously you've got the likes of Beckham. You've got a Cantona, but he's not cheaper. Beckham's like 329. I don't think anybody could argue with Beckham's, to be honest. That is just an easy one to go for. Lahm. I'm not a big fan of Lahm. I think he's decent value as an SBC, but I'm not necessarily the biggest fan. I just think 302k, it's not really that bad of a card, to be honest. Cantona, I personally wouldn't do. I really regretted actually doing him. Unless you're building a Manchester United past and present or French past and present, it's fair enough that he's kind of in there, but as a main team player, he just really didn't do too much in my eyes. Then we've obviously got the actual players. So when it comes down to it, we've got a fair few of them as well, to be fair. We've got loads. Plenty of heroes, plenty of normal cards, a couple of end of eras. We have got the Galazo players all coming out of packs or coming out of SBCs in the next 9 to 22 days. So that is going to be Alwaran, it's going to be Marquez, and it's also going to be Nakata. Now Marquez, I think, is a must complete regardless. I think that card could have a really good evolution after the kind of team of the season's finished and they go back to possibly having a kind of more of a priority to icons and heroes. Team of the season is all about the teams. I think that is self-explained. Either way, you know that that's going to happen. La Liga team of the season, Serie A team of the season upgrade series. It's all based around team of the season, which I'm absolutely fine with. But once that comes out and Marquez needs that upgrade now, I feel like there could be an evolution for him. Alwaran, I think, was decent value. Nakata, more than likely for me, is just going to be SBC fodder. Now for the rest of them, there is a lot that are up there as well. We look at 31k, it's just going to be fodder. 82k, just going to be fodder. You've then got Bull at 81, fodder more than anything. There's quite a few of them that are really cheap. Even Mbemba. I remember last year he was the red. Like how we got Fekir and Aspilicueta. I'm pretty sure he was the red with Openda. Yes, because Openda was he at Lens or was he? He was somewhere. It was in the French league, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you've got loads of cheaps. 94 for 25k. It's fodder. Even to some extent, Edison and also Hoffman could be related to fodder. I think Edison definitely could be a decent value, to be honest, but realistically, we know Leverkusen's winning that. We then have the player of the month again at 82,000, so for 100k, you get a 91 version and an 89. You got 22 for the female there. You then got 67 for Kubo. It's not a bad card, but he's just going to be fodder. And then we have got the new showdowns as well. So if we're just whacking fodder into there, really, I'd probably go fodder more than anything for them too. If Edison won, I'd probably go more into a must complete. Hoffman just isn't that cam in my opinion. I don't think he's kind of up there. But then we look at the rest of them. I really like Kubo. I think he's a very good winger, so I wouldn't quite go fodder. But realistically, he's going fodder, isn't he? Let's be real. Loads of people have got wingers already, and it's just absolutely nuts. Did I not even put Stoichkov or Abile in? I think Abile could be cheaper. Stoichkov, you know, nah, it's the price that's really killing me. 2.2 mil. He's a very, very good card, but he is expensive. I just think when he's only 800k away from R9, I'm going to keep him there. I'm just keeping him there. We ain't moving him. And Bemba's going there. We then also have Lucio and also Yaya. Now, it's a hard one for these two because we obviously have got them as an SBC at 512 and 1 million. Now, we do have a hero pick for them, which is stupidly expensive. So you've got the icon coming in at 149, 88 plus icon, or you've got 172k for an 88 plus hero. I don't understand why we've got that so expensive. It shouldn't be free squads. It's heroes. Most of these heroes, unless you are at the absolute top, you're looking at the top company, the top Yaya, the top Lucio. Even then, like, who is actually even in the top of the heroes anymore? Because you physically, they've not been out in so long. Like, we got Galazo heroes. They are, I'm pretty sure they are in them. But if we're looking at, like, it's going to be a Janola, El Waran, who's already got an SBC, so it's kind of the same. Cordoba to some extent, but even he's only 100k. So realistically, you're looking at pretty much 2 to 3 players in the Galazos that are actually more value there. If then you went into the fantasy heroes, they had quite a few decent ones. You've obviously got a Tevez who had an SBC. Schneider would be a great shout, like we said, with company. Ramirez was the other one I was thinking. Other than that, that is it. That is all you want, and there is like 30 to 40 heroes that you can get. That value for me is awful. But when it comes to the likes of Lucio and Yaya, I think the value's up there. I just think that they could have just, I don't know, they could have been better priced. And that's, it is what it is. Like Yaya for 500, you'd never, before Team of the Season, you'd never turn that down. But now I'm like, well, we've got so many centre mids that are on that level. They may not replicate Yaya, and that's very hard to do. It'd be like saying there is so many people with Hullet gang stats, but it still doesn't emulate Hullet. It's the same as Yaya, same as like a Patrick Vieira. They are, the reason why they are so meta is just actually their in-game build, their run type, like how personally R9 is. He's got his own run type, same as Haaland, same unique run type. It works perfectly for that card. Having the same stats is irrelevant. You could be a 6'3", pacey, strength, but don't have the right body type, don't have the right acceleration type, and you just turn into a donkey. So that is kind of the be all and end all of it. But both of them are fantastic in terms of players, but I think at this point there's just no need for them anymore, unfortunately. We then also have a few other cheaper players. We've got the 2 showdowns that we got yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which one. And to be fair, the pricing of them, and in terms of rating, it's not bad, like 150 and 200. But you're going to get a 93 that could be a 95, or a 93 that could... I don't know why I thought there were different ratings, but both of them 93. They both can be 95. And in terms of both of them, I'd probably prefer the Barca lady to go through, but I must admit that Cam doesn't look terrible. She's most definitely up there in terms of it. Technical, incisive, and dead ball. Stat-wise, looking decent. You get a double upgrade on that. If you think of ×2 on everything, 93 pace, 92, 95, 96. Defending physical, not a problem, but 91 on the physical. That's a pretty decent Cam for 150, and at 95 rated, if they ever give a showdown bonus, granted they'd probably cap it off at 94, it's not gonna be awful, to be fair. So I think with them two, they come under good value at the minimum. Then we've also got Koyunde. I think should have been cheaper, or at least a better card in my opinion. I think he's decent, but the playstyle pluses mixed with the price is just not up there in my opinion. I don't think he's quite the level that I was expecting him to get to. We look at then Silas and Sissoko. 2 decent players, obviously nostalgic value from them as well. Silas coming in at 177. We've then also got Sissoko, wherever he is, coming in at 288. Honestly, I don't think they're worth it in my opinion. I think even with the prices of them, it's not 2 cards that I'm willing to do. Diane, I think is a must complete, and arguably now with the evolutions, I'd possibly say Lacazette as well. When we look at Lacazette at 490, you can get him done very cheap. And then Diane, I think, was about the same, coming in at 462. With the evolution on top now as well, that's not a bad card whatsoever. I think that is well worth looking into at an absolute minimum. So that is going to be my list for today. Let me know down below what you think. I'm just trying to move this down or up. Hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know your opinions. How many of you finished? How many of you not finished? To be honest, I've finished R9. There's probably nobody else I want to do. So let me know down below, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.